Roman emperors, aware of the need to keep the populace content, provided ample entertainment and free grain to the masses. The Colosseum, with its bloody spectacles, served as a distraction, a means to placate the people and prevent dissent. The phrase "bread and circuses" epitomized the strategy of using superficial appeasement to maintain control, ensuring that the masses remained subdued and compliant. But this control extended beyond physical sustenance and entertainment. To truly dominate, they needed to control the way people thought, what they believed, and to remove all other intellectual thought. The power structures of Rome, and later the Romanized Church, loved to put everyone in a box, promoting the idea that there was only one way to think, believe, and live. This orthodoxy was about ensuring that everyone adhered to a single, unified doctrine, which made it easier to manage and manipulate the population.
Wow, there really is nothing new under the sun. We are currently watching the implosion of our country. We're watching the devaluation of our dollar. We're seeing that we are about to enter hyperinflation, in my opinion. We're seeing currencies around the world begin to implode, yet the masses could care less. They're so distracted, and it's almost as if they're in a slumber. It's almost as if they are sleepwalking through life. And you may be asking, well, why is this? Well, it's very simple. The powers that be have given them bread and circus. Okay, so let's get right into this video, and there really is nothing new under the sun. It is the same tricks over and over again, and man continues to fall for them. Now, if you've watched this channel, you know that I like to go back in history, and I'm going to be looking at the Roman Empire, and right before the Roman Empire ended up imploding and collapsing. So if we look at Rome, we see that they debased their currency, right? I talked about this numerous times before. At the beginning of that empire, Rome had the purest silver coins. And that's really interesting. A lot of people don't know that. Rome was actually built on silver, not gold. So that's really interesting. But at the beginning of that empire, it had the purest silver coins. Towards the end of that empire, it only had a fraction of the silver. And that is because they debased the currency because they had an extraordinary amount of debts that they needed to pay. So in order to do that, well, they don't actually have the silver coinage to pay it. So what do? They debase it so they can make more. But now the coin is not as pure. It's a form of devaluing the currency the same way we see the Fed today printing our money worthless, right? It's the same principle behind it. So just getting back on topic, you have to ask yourself, why were the people of Rome so complacent when this happened? Why didn't they question their government? Why did they not essentially revolt? I mean, during that time, if you're seeing that your currency is being debased and all of your wealth is going away, wouldn't you think you would stand up and question your government? But the majority didn't. And so how did they keep them so complacent? And it's really simple. They gave them bread and circus. See, there's nothing new under the sun. See, bread and circus for the Roman people was the Colosseum. They had gladiators. And they gave them the Colosseum because in order to cover the debts of the Roman Empire, they had to increase the taxes. And they knew that the people were going to be infuriated by this and they were going to possibly revolt. So what they did was they simply built the Colosseum and they gave them what they like to call bread and circus. It was a distraction. Even though the people were getting taxed heavily, they didn't care because they were content, they were happy, they were distracted. And by the time these people realized what was going on in their empire in Rome, it was too late. And something definitely worth noting here, think about the type of person who would gravitate towards the Colosseum. You know, a really bloody, gory battle. Think about the type of person. Those are going to be your strong men, the men who would be the biggest problem for the government if the people did decide to essentially, well, revolt. And so it was all planned to attract those types of people who would typically be the biggest problem. They essentially wanted to make sure that the strongest men in society were distracted. And so let's fast forward to 2022 and compare that to what's going on today. The only difference that we're really seeing today when compared to Rome is the gladiators were fighting for their life. They were fighting for survival. Now we have these professional athletes who are making an extraordinary amount of money, and they're envied by the masses. In fact, the masses, when they have kids, they want their kids to grow up to be professional athletes because they know the money involved in this, right? It's a huge distraction of what is actually going on. Why do people think this way to begin with? Why do you want your kids to become professional athletes? Because the system's broken. The system is not providing for you. So by your kid or you becoming a professional athlete, you're essentially going to be able to break free from the system and get a life that you always wanted. It shouldn't be that way. You should be content with what you have in a fair system. Unfortunately, the system just abuses you, and so it forces people into thinking this way. And so now all these professional athletes are envied, and it's just a big distraction. I mean, think about it. You got baseball, you got basketball, you got football, you got hockey. How many people do you know can name the entire lineup of their baseball team in their respective city, but they couldn't tell you anything about 1913, which was the creation of the Federal Reserve, 1971, when we were taken off the gold standard, the Weimar Republic, Venezuela, Argentina, fractional reserve banking, the petrodollar, any of these derivative markets, silver, gold, you name it, they don't know any of that. But they can tell you the whole lineup of their favorite professional sports team. Just take a minute and think about how ridiculous that is. And, that is what is going on today. I can argue right now that we, the people, are being taxed more than any time in history. There's so many taxes now and so much is taken from us, yet people just don't care because they're so easily manipulated into believing that everything is great. Yeah, we'll just give you bread and circus, aka football, basketball, right? Baseball, hockey. Keep you distracted, keep you content. That's the name of the game. Nothing new under the sun, and it's literally happening again. We're seeing this empire, America, begin to fall. And people don't care. They're so distracted. They just want to know the score of the game. They just want to know how their favorite player is doing. This is the state of America right now. And it's going to take these people by surprise. They're going to be absolutely blindsided by this because they have no idea what's going on. None. Very few understand what is actually going on right now. Very few. And I'm not the first one to talk about this whole bread and circus topic. There's been many before me who have talked about this. This is nothing new. It's really well known that it's a tactic used by the powers that be to distract the people. We can see it all throughout time. Rome is the best example of this with the Colosseum. It's absolutely ridiculous. But people continue to fall for it. And so this is why I'm always telling people, you are not going to be able to wake everyone up. You can tell people the truth, tell them about gold and silver, tell them about the devaluation of the dollar, tell them how you want to get into physical assets of intrinsic value so that you can beat hyperinflation so you're protected. Tell them all that. Majority, though, aren't going to hear it. Majority don't care. They just want to watch TV. They just want to watch the game. They want to watch baseball. They want to watch football. They want to watch their favorite player. They want to be distracted. They don't want to be bothered with the truth. They don't want to hear it. It's too overwhelming for them. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it. We have full-grown adults who inside are really just children. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to be men. That's the state that we're living in right now. No one wants to take responsibility. So for me, all you can do is tell people the truth. If they don't want to hear it, just move on. That's all you can do. If you're watching this channel, you know what's going on. We know it's only a matter of time before this dollar self-destructs. It implodes and we have hyperinflation. That's what I believe is going to happen. And this is why I stack gold and silver, because it's God's money. It will not be affected by hyperinflation because it has intrinsic value. It is not dependent on the fiat that we have right now. Gold and silver is, just gold and silver. It was here at the beginning of time and will be here at the end of time. You can't measure gold and silver in fiat, right? Gold and silver was here before the fiat. It will always just be gold and silver. So you have to think of it like that. And so, yeah, if you look around you, we are living in a modern day Rome. We're seeing the bread and circus all around us. And this has been going on for decades, right? But I'm starting to see the seams come undone. And this is crazy how people just refuse to wake up to what's going on. They're literally going to ride this ship all the way down. Just like when you had the people on the Titanic. They didn't want to believe that it was actually going down. Everything was great until, well, it went down. That is the same thing that's going on right now. And again, it goes back to the bread and circus. Keep them content, keep them happy, keep them distracted, and they won't question anything.
I'm smoking in that Miami pack. We built different, baby. Fuck the Heat. Fuck the Heat. Fuck the Heat. Hey, yo, KD, suck my. Fuck Trae Young. Fuck Trae Young. Fuck Trae Young. Fuck Trae Young. Hey.
11:02.
Uh-oh, we got the LARPers. We got the LARPers out here.
Oh, somebody
the live-action role players.
Oh, somebody about to get slayed out there.
Oh, my goodness, he slayed Smarty.
You got any room for a Michigan fan?
Go fuck yourself.
Probably not.
Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of here.
You help me step on the jersey?
No, get the fuck out of here.
Come on.
Get the fuck out of here.
Braxton Moore's a reject.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll punch you.
You can't touch my jersey.
You can't touch it. Goodbye.
He's carrying me. What the hell?
Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys! I'm going home with a win. Hey, I'm going home with a win. I'm going home with a win. I'm going home with a win. Raider Nation out here! Raiders! You got beat a Raider, nigga! No, 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 no.